Yeah, you know, my parents had me at a very young age. My mom got pregnant in high school. My dad and mom got married after they found out that they were pregnant with me. You know, I remember growing up 5, 6, 7 years old, not sure mom and dad were going to make it. But the one thing my dad did was he wasn't going to just give in easily, and he always had that kind of that perseverance. But you don't know that when you're growing up and you're in it and you're 9, 10, 11 years old. You're just thinking, you know, this is about done. I remember my brother and I being in the room, you know, late at night, and my mom and dad coming in. My dad just kind of laying his head on one of our beds and just breaking down in tears. And you know, my mom, and you know, like I said, things were pretty rough at the time, and my dad just, you know, saying in front of my mom and my brother and I, while he's in tears, just saying, you know, I'm never going to leave this family. This family's never going to break up. You don't ever have to worry about that. You're starting to get into 7th and 8th grade, and you know, I was playing all 3 sports by this point. You know, football, basketball, and baseball. But baseball was my thing. You know, I was always really good at baseball. It's what I could do. Football still, you know, again, I mean, I went to my first football practice in 10th grade, and I'm throwing the football, hanging, you know, just playing catch, and all of a sudden, the coach comes over and he says, "What are you doing?" "Nothing, I'm playing catch." He says, "Well, you know what these laces are for on this football, right?" "No, I don't know." He said, "Yeah, you're supposed to hold those laces." You know, even that, I was the backup quarterback on JV my sophomore year in football, and you know, didn't get to play a lot, but I was just out there with my buddies. Didn't really like it. Being a professional athlete, that was always my dream. I was willing to tell anybody about it. I always thought it was going to be baseball, but that's what I wanted to be. I'm going to college with my best friend. I'm the quarterback, he's the receiver, and we've been best friends since the 3rd grade. I still remember making a pact with him, saying, hey, you know, we've heard all these stories about college and these guys, you know, but we got a goal. We want to be pro athletes. So we're not going to get caught up in alcohol and drugs and all that stuff. We go out to college. That lasted about a month for me. My personality is whatever I do, I want to be the best at it. And so no matter what I'm doing, I want to be the best. I want to be the one that everybody looks at. So when it became alcohol, it was the same thing. I wanted to be the best drinker. By the time I came home my freshman year in December, I weighed 195 pounds. I was a different person again. So my sophomore year, you know, I got to be the starter in football. Now it's like football just kind of stole my heart. It stole all the passion I had for baseball. It was like, the football is it. When I got to college, I ran into a coach that he was all about throwing and you know, letting me be a real quarterback. You know, met a girl. We started dating that year in the fall. And you know, all through my sophomore year, we were dating, and you know, I wasn't the perfect guy. You know, one month you want to be with her all the time, the next month, you know, I need my space. You know, kind of playing that game. I was popular. I was on campus. I was kind of the guy. You know, I was starting quarterback. I was the guy. And so, you know, in terms of success, at the level that I was at, I had about all that you could have. Going into my 3rd year in college, you know, we had a chance to be pretty good, and things were going good. I had a girlfriend for over a year now, and I'm starting to get a lot of recognition. And you know, October of 1993, my 3rd year in college, and you know, I'm playing that game with my girl again. You know, we need some space. I'm getting overwhelmed. Football's going really good. I just feel like I don't have enough time. You know, we need some space, and she didn't agree with that, but she was a good girl, and she said, yeah, okay, you know, I'll give you your space. And so she left, and you know, not an hour later, there was another girl in my apartment. My bedroom door opens, and there's my girlfriend standing there. And I remember saying to her, you know, I don't really know how this is going to play out for you and I, but you know, I need to go back to church. I had all the success that the world said you should have, but it was like, you know, something's missing. For the first time in my life, I felt like something was missing. It's like I'm doing all these things, but there's just something that's not quite there. But the thing that really got my attention was this girl who, you know, we'd been together over a year, and I knew she was special. I knew she was like better than I deserved. She was beautiful, she was smart, she was funny. It was like the best thing that ever happened to me was this girl, and I'm messing it up. And it was, it was at that point, you know, when she caught me, I was like, you know, something's got to change. This just can't keep going this way. So I called, you know, my buddy, Eric. He's playing with the Jets. And I was like, you know, I noticed that when you were here, you weren't out partying, you weren't out with the girls. What's going on? You know, he told me about this change he had in his life, and, you know, he met Jesus and he got saved, and he was using all these words that I was like, I've never heard these words before. I don't even know what you're talking about. Salvation, what is that? I got to go to, like, in the woods, you know, some retreat in the woods, be out there. Is that what I got to do? No, you know, he lays the gospel out for me over the phone. And he said, Jesus wants you just like you are. He doesn't want you. You don't have to worry about your cussing. You don't have to worry about your drinking. You don't have to worry about your womanizing. You don't have to worry about anything. He wants you just like you are. He'll make the changes. He'll change you from within. So 2 weeks later, I'm in my apartment all by myself and got on the floor. And I remember my prayer went a little something like this. You know, Lord, I don't know who you are, God. I do know that, Jesus, you came to die for my sins. I said, I've been trying to do life on my own for a long time, but I need you to be the captain of my ship. That was my prayer. And I remember getting up off the floor that night, and the burden that I felt before was immediately lifted. And it was like nothing I ever felt before. Started to explore, what does it mean to walk with Christ? You know, alcohol had to go, cussing had to go, you know, and it wasn't really like me trying to do those things. It was just praying, Lord, take those out of my life. And he did that. You know, I did everything I could to make it to that next level, to be a pro football player, and you know, but you still have to have people that want you. And you know, it's January, it's February, it's March. I'm not hearing anything from any teams. I'm not really getting any offers. I'm not getting a chance to work out or anything like that. When I knew that there were some other guys, you know, they were getting that opportunity. Basically, I thought football was over. And then I got a call. A guy who played with me my senior year, his uncle was Dennis Erickson, who was, you know, coaching for Seattle at the time, and he called us and, you know, wanted us to come over and work out. He wanted to give us an opportunity to be seen by some scouts. I've never thrown the ball as good as I threw it that day. What I think was going to be about a 15-minute workout turned into about an hour-long workout. So they brought me back a couple weeks after that to work out with some pro receivers and see how I would do with that. And it went okay. It wasn't as good as the first time, but it was good enough for them that, you know, after they had the draft, that they called me and said they would like me to sign as a free agent. And it was like the prayer's been answered. Things really started to take off. And the next year, my third year in the league, I got to play 5 games. My whole mindset started to shift, where I still wanted to be successful on the field. I still wanted to, you know, go to Pro Bowls and win Super Bowls and all that stuff, but it wasn't the end all. It was about, how can I use what God's given me to draw people to Him? My whole definition of success has changed. While I still want to have success on the field, I want to have success for different reasons. I want to have success so that I can tell more people about Christ. As many people as I can tell about Jesus Christ. And if I have to use words, so be it. That's what I want to be. You know, I'm just enjoying the ride. People ask me all the time, how much longer do you want to play? I passed that. I mean, that was a long time ago. I'm John Kitna, and Jesus is on demand.